Another thing that you can do, another tip, is to anticipate objections. And Wade, we filmed something a few years ago with Dr. Jeff Magruder, and it's a preaching masterclass. And I think we actually have that available for free. So if you go to the show notes, there should be a link where you can get the preaching masterclass for free. I encourage you to do so.
He also did a video for us one time where he talked about anticipating objections. And he's written about this in other articles. But one of the things that he says is, anticipating objections is effective both in the application and the conclusion, especially if the call to action is developed in the conclusion. So if you have your conclusion and it's all about here's the call to action, you need to anticipate those objections. He goes on to say, in this type of conclusion, you identify what objections your audience could have about what you've been preaching. What might they find hard to believe? What are some of the competing priorities they possess that could make it difficult for them to act on what the sermon is directing them to do? So if you're preaching about generosity and you've been talking about generosity and you've been working through the text and you get to the end of the message and your call to action, your specific objection is, I want the people in my church to begin giving to charities, begin giving to the church. You have to anticipate those objections and say, now I know what some of you are thinking. This is a big one. This is a big one. You might say, how can I trust the church with my money? Or you might say, hey, how do I pay my bills? So just talk through those issues and anticipate those objections and respond to them in a biblical way. That's super important. That's something that you need to work through in your conclusion.